Yeah, I said something. That would be a really good idea.
Good morning. David Spivey, our president.
Good morning, everybody. Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we praise your holy name. We just look to you for guidance. Forgive us when we don't do that. Forgive us when we go out on our own and think we can do it. And just forgive us for not looking to you for that guidance. Thank you for taking us back every time. Help us to navigate this day. We thank you for our provision for yesterday. We ask for that again today. Just be with us in this world of conflict. Some things we just don't understand, but what we do understand is that with your healing power, your grace and your forgiveness, that all things are possible. And we ask that you allow us to look to you each day. We thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Face the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do: first,
is the truth.
Second,
is fair to all concerned.
Third,
will build goodwill and better friendships.
And fourth,
will be beneficial to all concerned.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're gonna give us 2 minutes to tell us about yourself?
Okie dokie. I know we have a guest this morning, and Lori, would you like to-
I'm gonna let Alex introduce
Introduce
himself as a
himself?
fellow Rotarian.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Alex Ingalls. I am a Rotarian of the Downtown Nashville group, and I
Small group.
just have like Governor Lee is one of the members.
Yeah.
It was funny. We meet. Laura was talking about like the dues here, and it's like significantly high downtown. But we also meet in the Geodis Park as our meeting space. I work for Big Brothers Big Sisters, Middle Tennessee. Laura's on the board of that, and I just wanted to come check out the Rotary out here because the service part has been really important. And for most people moving to Nashville, I've been in Nashville for 11 years, but most people moving to Nashville, one of the fastest ways they find community is groups that do service projects, and kind of fall in love with Rotary because of that.
Welcome. I'm glad to have you. Okay, so we will now move into announcements.
Anything barbecue?
Well, so we were looking at having a meeting on.
Oh, it
Friday.
is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Oh, but Miranda is unavailable, so I'm gonna recirculate some dates, looking maybe the 26th or the 10th or the 17th to go out to Hot Springs, but I'll circulate another.
So how about we follow that up with some golf scrambles?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come up here, Sharon.
Yeah.
We were so patient to wait for the Barbecue Fest baby to be born. Now it's time to birth and plan for the golf scramble baby, right? So the Blake Tibble Memorial Golf Scramble is going to be the 25th for real because last year we got rained out. This is going to be a special year for this golf scramble. We have 2 new members, Jacob and Jackson, have joined our team. Don has come back to help. I'm back helping. And we have our 2 leaders, which is Nick and Greg Tidwell. So Jackson is our Bob Gerard and Chris Copeland. He's our sponsorship guy. He's asked me to ask you to look on the back of this form. This is saved today, September 30th. We have a rain date because we learned from last year, which is October the 7th. But this is the big kicker. There are people that don't like to do things online. Okay, we got a solution for them. If they do, we ask for them just to wait for a little bit. If they want to go online, and we'll let you know when the Birdie's website is ready, Don, right? And then at that point, they can go online and they can pick whenever they want. We kept the fees like last year, no increase at all, right? But we're asking each club member to either be a host, sponsor, $150, or actually have someone else, like I have the water department that I sponsored at the platinum level. So minimum co-sponsor, 65 members, that's a big dent. So that's all we ask. Can you guys put your hand up if you think you can do that? Yes, I see visual hands, and I see hands that are inside hanging up, so. The cost for this is, it's gonna help the kids that attend the school for one, like half the proceeds go to their foundation, the other half goes to our special grants. So help us help others and help us help ourselves. Thank you, guys.
And Miss Judy has, Paul Harris Awards.
You remember that we have two foundations, the Rotary Foundation is the one that's Rotary International we recognize for Paul Harris, and we have a couple of people who have continued to make their contributions. So we have some Paul Harris plus pins, and if Jack Mitchell could come, we have a Paul Harris plus 7. You missed the other 2 meetings that I had
I tried to make last week's meeting, but my English mind didn't realize we were somewhere else. I showed up here, where were you?
From the connector.
I ain't ready to connect, that was a bad thing.
It's on the website.
And then one more, we have Bill Taylor, Paul Harris plus 8.
No, he's on the list.
Beautiful. Thank you. And Mr. Steve Dix has agreed to sing along. We're gonna announce the June birthdays.
Oh, June birthdays.
Yes.
Please stand
So,
up.
Martha Waylon Putz was her birthday was June 1st. Angela Jandreski's birthday is tomorrow, the 12th. John Duffy's is the 24th, and Donna Gwynn is the 27th.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Don didn't get the memo that if your birthday's in June, you get to miss this meeting.
Sorry about that. Yes, Bob.
I do have a quick announcement, just some prayers request for Melvin.
Okay.
He's just having a time, but he's back in the hospital. They got good news last night on some tests. And it's hopefully he should be coming out later today.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll keep them in our prayers for sure. A couple of quick things, and I know this is in the connector, so you should have already seen it, but I will give a reminder that Friday night is Relay for Life. Dana, would you like, is there anything you want to say about that, or?
Yes, Friday from 3 to 9 p.m. in Oakland's Mansion, the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. We're gonna have, it's gonna be family fun, booze, things that we celebrate our survivors and remember those who have passed away and things of that nature, but we'll have survivors, things for cancer survivors, different labs, fun games and everything. So if you're a cancer survivor, you know any cancer survivors, or you just wanna celebrate everyone who's fighting the battle for cancer, I invite you all to come out from 3 to 9. It's going to be at the Oakland Mansions Park area.
Okay, thank you. And then next Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock is the Rutherford County Habitat for Humanity dedication for Pam's house. And so the address is in there. I love it. It's 2840 Opportunity Lane. So that's fantastic. So they're doing the dedication for that Habitat house next Thursday afternoon. Does anybody have anything?
I'd just like to add to that, if you've never been to one of those dedications, please come. It's one of the best.
Yeah, it's moving very moving.
And it won't take long, a lot of your time, it's at the end of the day, so please come. It's awesome, okay? So we'd love to have a good representation of our club.
Okay, thank you. Well, all right, if we don't have anything further, I'm gonna have Jacob introduce our speaker today.
Good morning, Rotarians. I have the privilege of serving as vice chair on the board of Thriving Together Tennessee. And we focus on strengthening families, supporting parents in recovery, and creating, fostering households that are stable for children to grow up in. Our current executive director, Amy Jordan, is our guest speaker this morning. She was actually our founding board chair about 4 years ago.
Three. A little over three.
About 3 years ago.
Well, the idea started probably 4 or 5 years ago, yeah.
Sure. So she, founding board chair, was actually willing to step into the executive director role when the position became available. So that was a no-brainer for us, and she continues to lead the charge for us into the future. So please help me give a warm welcome to Amy Jordan, Thriving Together.
Thank you for having me. Let me plug this.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it.
So I'm not a morning person. Let me just start. Let me level set with y'all. This is like being in a room full of my husband. So that's fun. I appreciate you all. I appreciate what you do. As I was hearing you go over your 4-week tests, I appreciate all of them. But I'm a Brene Brown fan and have gone through one of her leadership courses, and clear as kind and truth and things like that are really important to me. And so I'll start there. The truth is, sometimes all of these services we have for families and children fail them. And that is really where Thriving Together TN was birthed. Myself and the founder, Carrie Hauser, we have long time served families and children in various ways throughout Rutherford County and Middle Tennessee for decades now. And she's a LMSW, so a licensed social worker. And she worked at DCS for 10 years. That's when I met her, when I was also investigating child abuse and neglect years ago. And we have just seen experiences where the system comes in, the state comes in, and investigation is very important. We need to identify when children are being abused or neglected and at risk. But what happens after that? It kind of falls apart after that. And a lot of times, when families, abuse and neglect don't just happen because it's not an isolated event, right? There is unaddressed substance use. There is mental health that people may not even recognize that they have. There is stigma around both of those factors that is influencing the entire family unit. And then you've got the child at the center of that is suffering, right? Suffering from sometimes what parents don't even realize is happening to their children. A good percentage, over 80%, I believe, of child abuse and neglect cases are actually on the neglect end, okay? So we hear about child sex abuse and endangerment and all of those things, and that's horrible, and those children need justice, right? And they need separation from that abuser. But on the neglect end, which is the vast majority of what happens in the child welfare system, it's, like I said, it's people that may or may not even intend or know or realize what is happening to their children based on their circumstances, which is often unaddressed needs, right? So that is really where we come in. And we've seen the system over time, well, always, it's just kind of designed this way. You have a DCS investigator show up at your door. If the risk is bad enough, they will remove your children, rightly so. And then they give you a list. They give you a list of things to do, but they don't really tell you how to do them. And maybe you start with one. Maybe it's you need mental health treatment. Maybe you need substance use treatment. You go to a treatment facility, and you don't have care, you don't have any insurance yet. And sometimes, I come from a community mental health center. I worked there for 6 years in the business oversight, but also in some child serving services. And the truth is, those agencies are sometimes, they're just overworked, right? They see a lot of people. And sometimes families just don't get the warm welcome and the guidance they need to stay in the treatment that they need. And so we recognize that. And our staff, I'll get into this later, but our staff have lived experience. So they have been through these systems themselves. They have had child welfare agents show up at their door. They have walked through addiction and recovery. And so almost all of our staff are certified peer recovery specialists, and some of them also carry additional certifications as a family support specialist. So that really means that they've been there, done that, and they have dedicated their life professionally to help other families walk through that system. And that is something we don't see everywhere. It's definitely something the government's not going to give you. DCS is just not going to give you that, and they shouldn't. They're there to survey the families and make sure they're compliant and keeping children safe. We're on that other end to walk families through that to continue safety for the long term. That is a brief introduction. Our mission, we go ahead and get into the slides so I don't lose my pace. Our mission is to help children with families with children achieve safety, stability, permanence, and well-being. Those are kind of the tenets of what we believe any successful family really need. I did have some motions for those. I made up for my board so we could help memorize the mission statement, but I won't embarrass myself in doing those. I think to Kiwanis, and they're like, yeah, that's pretty bad. So our ultimate vision is that not only do we want to keep families together and stabilized if possible, even if that means sometimes stabilization and permanency means that that child is with a relative or a close family friend, somewhere where the cultural integrity of that child can be preserved. So we're really trying to help children, if it's safe, to stay within their context, their families, and that means heavy support to parents and sometimes caregivers. I mean, these days we have so many grandparents taking care of children, aunts and uncles taking in children while parents work out their issues they need to address. But sometimes grandparents don't have those skills that they need either, or the resources they need. You know, a lot of grandparents living on fixed incomes, and now they're looking at they have to get this child in daycare because maybe they're still working themselves, and all of those economic factors play in. Or maybe they were part of the reason that their child is, not to blame grandparents, but sometimes this happens, generational trauma and cycles of abuse and neglect and poverty. Sometimes they might have been what perpetuated where their adult child is now, unfortunately. And so sometimes they need help themselves. So we are able to provide some support to the entire family unit. So we believe that families are the foundation of a strong community. So when we're able to support families and their structure and improve them and lead them to thriving, not just surviving, which is what a lot of families are doing right now, that only improves our community, right? And you all are Rotarians, you know that. That is why you commit to this club and the services that you do. So these are kind of the tenets of why we do what we do. Again, these are some of the issues we're addressing. The poverty, I can't tell you how much the poverty plays a role into this. Of course, domestic violence, addiction, mental health, all of those things contribute to poverty. But you know, it's expensive to live. It's just, everything is so expensive nowadays. So to get people across, out of the federal poverty, guidelines, but even above that, in that ALICE section, the asset limited income constrained but employed, about half of our families are employed and still struggling, still at risk for homelessness. And so we are helping them address all of these issues that put them at risk for losing their children. So this is just a graphic. This one in particular has the child that you could, adults are just grown up children, right? We were all children at one point in time. So a lot of times we look at either the child or an adult and we blame their behavior. We think it's an isolated incident, and we want to target and our systems, our healthcare, our educational systems, even our social services, housing, they're all kind of isolated to address those specific components. There is not a lot that will take a family through. And so what we do is we are that gap of support. We are helping them navigate, and we are helping them stay in it. A lot of our families have never been told they can have more or be more than where they are and what they've always known. And so, hope. Have y'all ever had hope? Anybody come into hope training, hope science training? Y'all have that yet? It's really cool. You should have someone. We have a trainer in that. Emily from my house is also trained in hope science. It's really, really powerful as a driver to family success. It's something that scientists, social scientists, have found a way to measure and increase. So it's really, really powerful. This is a big graphic that kind of shows all that we do and how we do it. I may come back to this later. But we're not only helping individuals, we're also, this is one of my favorite pieces, because I have worked in so many different sectors. I've done a little bit of, I'm not a lawyer, but I've assisted in family law. I've worked in the private sector. I've worked in higher education, and of course I said mental health, and I've got some personal experience in some things as well. And this advocacy for system change is very important to me. So not only are we helping the families navigate, but when we hit a roadblock for someone, we are having that conversation with that provider, whether it be a housing provider locally or a treatment provider, and we're saying, look, this person is eligible for the service. They've been trying to work with you and something is going wrong. How can we solve that? We're advocating for them to continue to get the care that they need. We aren't duplicating services. We are trying to make sure the services that exist out there are actually functioning the way they want to for families. So we do that through two programs. Safe Baby Court is one of our core programs. This one is focused on, I need to update this slide. Legislation just changed this year, so they moved Safe Baby Court to be eligible for families with children over the 5 and under. Used to be just 3 and under. But thankfully that widens the net to catch more families in that very critical period of early childhood development, where everything is spinning and developing, those synapses in the brain, they are going, and it is critical to intervene when there is a problem in the household unit for infants and toddlers and young children. So we coordinate, our Safe Baby Court coordinator coordinates this program with the DCS investigator, the juvenile move them through, whatever their issues are that are addressing, instability. And the initial goal is always reunification. But again, sometimes permanency means the child is safer with their caregiver. We were the first, Rutherford County Safe Baby Court was the first, this is based on a national model that does have evidence base. Rutherford County was the first one across the nation to say, let's focus only on non-custodial situations. That means children not in foster care. So that is your grandparents, your friends who are taking in families and children. The foster care system is stretched too thin. There's not enough foster care parents, and unfortunately, children are coming in at a faster rate than you think they can keep up with. And it's maybe not always in the best interest. There's actually studies that show long-term foster care is very damaging for children. I don't mean any harm. I mean, there are some wonderful foster parents. In a room this size, I'm sure there's some of you who have done that yourself or know someone. And it is a hard job. I'm thankful for foster parents. But on the flip side of that, my husband's a school teacher and he has seen children go from family to family because their needs are so significant. So if we can do, in long term, foster care results are that people age out and then they end up back in these systems, the criminal justice system. They're more likely to become homeless, all of those factors. So we're going to try to prevent that, stabilize the family unit if we can, and get them back together and on their way to thriving. Rutherford County was also the first in the nation to incorporate the peer service. So it is a state certification from the state of Tennessee. It involves a lot of training. And so these peers are certified and trained with continuous development to do their job as a peer. And that model has worked so well that other Safe Baby Courts are starting to adopt that as well. And the Safe Baby Court, I was just looking at, there's an annual report because that is a program that's funded by the state of Tennessee with appropriated funding. So that's wonderful. The state does intend to try to get a Safe Baby Court in every county eventually. It's a slow go. What was I going to say about that part? Oh, it was really important, I forgot it. That's okay. So while we're working through all the services for parents, getting them into homes, getting them washers and dryers, helping them hang the curtains, we're also giving them opportunities. This is one of our favorite parts. We're giving them opportunities to practice the skills that they're learning. If we send them to parenting classes, they then need to take those skills and put them into practice with their children. Because if you've ever taken a kid to the zoo or the park, you know that can be a challenging environment to parent in. Walmart is a challenging environment to parent in. So we try to give our parents those opportunities, and we really rely on community support for that, because unfortunately the state doesn't always see that as beneficial use of funds. So we sometimes need to bolster this program with additional funding that can support these types of things. So here's our founder, Carrie, installing, she's the jack of all trades. She's installing a dryer hose for a client. These are just some pictures that from our Safe Baby Court graduations. So every time we have we get to the point with the family where it's time to reunify, we celebrate that in a big way. Or, like I said, if permanency means going with grandparent or something, that still is a case closure. It doesn't mean that we're completely done working with that family. In fact, that leads me to our other program, Family Forward, and the reasons why we're able to sometimes continue care with families and children through that program as well. So this is one of our graduates. This slide is a few years old now, so he's got probably about 3 years of, going on 3 years of sobriety under his belt. remember if he was a single dad or not, but here he is with his child, he is doing very well and overcoming addiction and living in recovery. And recovery is never this. If you know anything about it, it's this. And so to be in long-term recovery, it's one of the strongest things you can do to succeed in that. And so we're very proud of folks who make it to that point and they can start thinking like this. Okay, so family forward. We took the safe baby court model and said, why stop at 3? Why stop at 5? Let's extend this type of support to families with children under 18. And because of the funding stream we initially had, which was through the Rutherford Opioid Board and also through a collaboration with Morehouse, through United Way funding, we needed to focus it on families with a substance use issue affecting the unit. So that is the criteria, and so it's pretty wide open. So we are able to continue that peer support and that coordination of services that's rather intensive and walk families through all of these stabilizing services. We utilize specific assistance for all kinds of things. Let me be clear, specific assistance never means giving cash straight to people. That is not what we're doing. We are assessing and educating them along the way, like on budget and finances and household income, and how to manage all that. We are sometimes helping them cover a copay if they can't afford it themselves. Because a lot of times adults, children are eligible for 10 care as a pre-wide net, but for adults, a lot of times there's not, the federal poverty level is so low to get them on 10 care, they don't qualify, and there's that gap. Oh, sorry. 2 things about this. We also utilize, this is an evidence-informed program based off of the Safe Baby Court model, but to strengthen it and make sure we are doing this program has impact as well as Safe Baby Court, we do have several assessment tools we use. And social capital is a term that's very important in the recovery field. So I got a great example of this just last night. One of our parents, he has lead poisoning, and he has 2 young children under the age of 3, one with autism. He's like, I think I need to go to the hospital. I think I have lead poisoning. But he has very few people he can call on in a time of need. So social support becomes critical when you have an emergency. Who do you trust to take care of your children? Hopefully everyone in here, if you have children, has a safety net like that. But a lot of times people with unaddressed needs don't have that safe person they can turn their shoulder over to in a crisis. Okay. Oh, this is a story about supporting a grandmother who took in her grandchildren, but I kind of went over how that works. So really quickly, these are our bold and fearless leaders. Carrie Nierhauser, Programs Director and Founder, myself. Candy is our certified peer for Safe Baby Court in Rutherford County, and Amberly is our coordinator. Missy Hamilton covers Henry County. The state gave us Henry County a couple years ago. An offshoot. Anybody know where Henry County is? One person. 2 people. Lacey is our certified peer that coordinates our family forward. Right now, she is maxed out. She cannot even, she's got so many cases in a waiting list, and we need more of Lacey, but unfortunately our funding actually just recently got slimmed down. So we are kind of in panic mode to figure out how to continue that program because it is so effective. Lydia runs our Cannon County Safe Baby Court, and then we have one person part-time in Cannon County that helps with the data there. So I have this on paper if anyone is interested. This is now a year old. We're working on our data for this past fiscal year that is just about to end. But these are ways you can get involved because we cannot do this. In fact, the name of our agency, together part is so key. We can't do this without other agencies providing the services they do in the community. And we cannot do this without volunteers who wanting to blossom this mentorship program, which will really utilize volunteers. We're working on building that right now. But all of the support, diaper drives, landscaping in our office, helping us clean from time to time. You saw the staff list, right? That's it. There is no financial director, there is no HR director, there is no social media marketing team that we have. We are doing this all, like I'm supposed to do all those things, and it's a lot. So I have a very active board. I appreciate Jacob and all of the connections he's helped us make. I have one board member that helps us for social media all the time. I can't tell you the difference that makes. His messaging and awareness is huge. We have Wilson Bank Trust who's doing repeat diaper drives for us. Gift cards are important. We can utilize those in lots of ways for families. And of course, financial contributions are super important. As I mentioned, one of our recent cuts. And that's the way life is right now for nonprofits, unfortunately. So find one you love and give them at least $20 a month because it means everything to them. So these are the ways that your support helps families. But again, with a group like you all, I just really want you to know that there is opportunities to plug in here if you want to. We will plug you right in. And this is just a slide about why this work matters. Every child, even if they've been through something traumatizing, wants to know where they came from, wants to have a connection with that parent, and maybe it's their siblings, right? Siblings get torn apart in this child welfare system. And so if we can keep them together, they don't have to wonder some of these things that these books and movies are written off of, based off of. They don't have to carry around holes in their heart that we can try and keep that family together. So this leads you to our website. And then lastly, we have our second annual fundraiser event coming up. It is right here and right here. You can't miss it. You can scan that code to get your tickets. It is family friendly. And we are taking some blossoming stars across Rutherford and Cannon County and having them perform. So I've got a juggler. We have a group that's been on Nickelodeon's, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Nickelodeon show, kind of like America's Got Talent. So they are coming and they actually run a nonprofit that supports widowed parents. So they have their own story. We've collaborated with them to be one of our performers. There's going to be a wine and liquor pool, but you have to take it home, drink it, and not drink it there, because it's family event. So we welcome you all out to that. It's going to be a fantastic time. Oops, that's my last slide. Thank you for letting me speak.
You're talking about the gaps and everything. Like, do you guys focus on like that benefits cliff? Like, do you work with different organizations that cover that? You talked about Alice. How involved are you guys with working on benefits cliff kind of stuff?
So something I failed to say is we don't have strict rules on when we stop supporting families.
Okay.
So because we recognize that cliff, we will continue assisting them as long as they want us in their lives. Now, sometimes they get to a point and they're like, I'm done with you. Thank you for the service. And we want to build that. We want to build autonomy. They don't need to depend on us, and families don't need to live off government assistance. We all know that, but sometimes they need that support. I was a single mom and I needed to access those services. I was on WIC, I was on TennCare at some point. So you use it for that short time being, and then you move up, right? That's the goal. So that's what we're helping families do. Yes?
How do people find you? How do these people in need
Yeah, so Safe Baby Court, they have to have a case open with DCS and the juvenile court system. So that one's kind of closed, although sometimes people will call us and say, I think this family needs these services. And then we see if it's something we can get through that system so that they're eligible. Family Forward is wide open, so anyone can refer or you can self-refer if you need that. And we do have lots of parents reach out to us. We scour Facebook. I know there's a lot of times there's some scams and stuff that go on, but we have actually, the guy with the lead poisoning, hopefully not lead poisoning, we actually found him through a Facebook referral, and it was a serious issue. He was almost homeless. And so we helped get him into immediate housing and stabilize those kids, get the one with autism and some appropriate childcare. And he's doing well, aside from whatever's going on with his health right now. Rutherford County schools and city schools both send us referrals because, as I said, married to a teacher, we talk about these things all the time over dinner, how they see children. Teachers see children every day that need intensive family support, and they can't do that. They're trying to teach their class. So they recognize the need and they will refer. We need better ends with people like pediatricians and stuff, but again, right now without more funding, we cannot expand Family Forward. We're kind of maxed out on it. So, but
what is your annual budget?
For the entire agency, we are around $500,000 to $600,000.
Okay. So United Way, one of the challenges they've identified, we've got so many different nonprofits that are here.
We do.
We are the volunteers.
Yep.
But it's really getting them to talk to each other. Getting them to
Exactly.
communicate. Are you finding that still just a big challenge? Or
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and funders can try to force collaboration and what's that other term? Collective impact all day long. But when systems are not designed that way, it's just really hard. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why we exist, is to help connect the dots and help carry people through those disconnected systems when the intent of collaboration doesn't always go like it should.
Isn't there a platform right now that nonprofits in Rutherford County are trying to sign up on? I forgot the name of it. It is where your reporting service is given, and it's a main hub. I think United Way was real big
Is
on
that what
that.
211? 211 is kind of a resource,
No,
public resource, but they offer Charity Tracker.
Charity Tracker. That's what I'm thinking of.
And we've looked at Charity Tracker. Problem is that data can be seen by United Way, and that's not always something agencies are able to do. So some agencies utilize that. You know, we have a lot of HIPAA protection that we have to follow and FERPA and things like that.
Okay.
So that's been a little bit of a challenge. Yeah. We need a great database though, and the state is working on,
The HIPAA's not going to allow that.
there's some ways to do it.
Okay.
You need lawyers and a lot
Do
of
we have
that.
any lawyers in the house? I think we have 9 for the Supreme Court.
They don't announce themselves in public.
That's true, yeah. But you need, the infrastructure that's required to effectively run a nonprofit is huge. So things like law, legal issues, all that trickles down to how well you're able to do your programs. It's very important, and sometimes nonprofits miss that piece. What
If you ever
else?
get the chance to go to a Safe Baby graduation, you should go.
It's all that look
It's
awesome.
an unbelievable opportunity, it really is.
Thank you for saying that. We actually have one in Cannon County. If you want to take a drive to Woodbury, it's just 25 minutes away. We have one coming up. If you follow our, we have a Driving Together TN Facebook page. We're on Instagram, and we're also on LinkedIn. Sometimes I forget to update LinkedIn. But we also have a Rutherford County Safe Baby Court page and a Cannon County Court page. So right now there is, we don't always invite the public, but for Cannon County, it's just so small and adorable that we do want people to come out to Cannon, so we have a graduation coming up, I believe, on the 22nd. So yeah, it's a big celebration for those families, and it means a lot to see people from the community there.
Okay, well, thank you again. So much. There's a little small gift of appreciation. It's a pen that's got the Rotary sticker. And then there's a challenge coin that has the 4-word test that we recited. Thank you for the good work. Wow.
Y'all please grab some information by the name tag.
Well, y'all have a very good rest of the week, and we'll be back here next Thursday to hear from
Alzheimer's Association.
Alzheimer's Association. Thank you.
It's bigger.